Now we're getting to Socky 6. The talking points with the Ashes coming up. They're just around the corner, Sock. How many days? 39 days, is it now?
39. Well, I'm just going to agree with you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't count it down like
today.
Christmas. But
anyway, we've got
close.
Well, first question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Pat Cummins is out. What's the solution? Is it as easy as Boland stepping in?
Yes.
It is. All right, that was good.
Yep.
All right.
But if we want to go deep into that, I mean, we do have some issues with some injuries with our depth of bowling stocks, which I'm concerned about. Jai Richardson and Doggett both injured at the moment. They're possible backups, both fast. Both had Doggett had a great Shield season. Then you're looking at maybe Abbott. Ness is doing really, really well. However, we don't have that experience. So, Boland is the obvious.
All right. Now, our top order, who opens for you? Now, just
so tough, this question.
All right. So, Marnus is 3 out of 4 knocks. He's
scored 100.
Scored 100.
Yeah.
But we've got Davey Warner. He's come out and said he thinks Constas should open the batting. Why? I mean, Constas, he hasn't made a lot of runs so far this year.
No, he struggled in the West Indies. He's had a game in Perth, the first Shield game, which, look, it was super bowler friendly there. The scores, not many batters made above 50. Experienced players like Whiteman and Bancroft missed out. So I don't know what you can read into that form line, into that game. So I've got Usman at 1. The second point is Constas. Now, I need one score from him in a Shield game. Yep. I need 100.
Yep. I
need a big score, and he's in.
Yep.
That's it. That's as simple. But if I had to pick it tomorrow, he's not in the team.
Yeah. Well, Bondi Jack says, I have Weathered and Renshaw opening in Perth. They've both earned it. Reynolds has been treated like a leper for years. Your thoughts, Sock?
I agree. So this is a really tough call because I think what Marnus brings to a team is not just his batting, it's his energy. He's a very, very good fielder who can change the game in the field. But I think if you're going to pick a player right now, it's Weatherald. However, that can be easily swayed. As I said, there is Constas, Labuschagne, Weatherald, Renshaw's just been picked in the ODI squad.
Yep.
It's there's 200 to go, and I don't want to pick a winner just yet. We're 200 out. If you had to pick it today, you could go Labuschagne on form. You could go Weatherald on form. I don't think you could pick Constas on form, even though we know he's the future. Yeah. He hasn't done enough, plain and simple.
What is that? I mean, when Ponting came in as a youngster, everybody knew he was just going to be a gun. Scored a ton on debut. I think it was in WA.
16.
Constas came in against Bumrah
in India, and
he did some things that just were outlandish to Bumrah.
I think it was so exciting. Okay, so we picked this guy because we wanted him to. We realised he's got potential, and we know he's got that was maybe his B or C plan. What we need as an Aussie Test opener is we need you to back your A game, which is your defence and the quality of it for long periods of time, to be able to be sustainable at Test level. So your technique needs to be trusted. What he did is he came out with a game plan against a guy that was all over us. They tried McSweeney at the top of the order. No one had an answer to him. Everyone got Bumrah. That's what Uzi Khawaja said as well. But then he had to ask different questions in the West Indies on tricky wickets, and he didn't look like he had any answers. And that's because you've got a lack of experience of which he's learning the game. And he's under Greg Shippert, who's going to give him a lot of tutelage. He's got Watto as one of his batting coaches. So he is learning, but it would be a big ask for him to go to Perth in the first test against potentially Archer, Wood, in a big cauldron. Now, we know this kid loves and thrives in these opportunities, but it's a big ask against these guys on a wicket he's probably not played on before to do it without any runs under his belt. And at the moment, I'm not sure whether he's confident in his own A game.
Right. Well, that's. I mean, when I heard Heels talk about him, and Heels mentioned a similar thing, he said that's all good, that's all fun, but you can't be a Test opening batsman playing those shots consistently. Yeah,
I like that
they come out at times to get under the skin or just to rattle the cage of a bowler that's got the wood on a team. But you can't. You can't open the batting like that.
No, I love that he went to that plan. And then what I would like to see is him go back, because then he went back to Shield cricket, and there was a bit more of the same. He was trying to ramp Scotty Boland. He was taking it on, and didn't have much success with it. Does he have the talent to play for Australia and go on and play 100 tests? I believe so. But this is a big Ashes series, and picking him right now would be a huge risk.
Here we go. Brett says Ponting got 96 at the Waikato debut and was fired and given out LBW when it hit his side pad. Fletcher's mate, the great Shaminda Vas, was the bowler. Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew he got close. It was a good opening innings. It was a good first innings.
It's a funny story because he talks about he's playing Muralitharan, and in his head, and this is the mind games that cricket said, he's facing his first ball against Murali's, and Ricky Ponting saying, don't run at him. Don't run at him. You know, Murali's got the Duzra, which can spin the other way. Don't run at him. Don't run at him. So what does he do? First ball, runs down the wicket, just gets a leading edge that just goes past first slip, and that's the battle that goes through your mind as a cricketer. You know, don't. The ball gets released. You get half a second to react, and then, why did I do that? And then you get all day to think about it.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing golf. Someone says, like, what do I do here? Don't hit it there. So don't tell me where not to hit it. Tell me where to hit it.
Yeah,
all right, well,
correct.
we see the emergence of any new Aussie heroes this summer.
New Aussie heroes. I don't think there won't be anything that we haven't heard of before.
No one from the clouds.
It's a big ask for Nathan Lyon to get through the summer. Will we see 2 spinners at the SCG? Well, we've seen young Matt Kuhneman already play for Australia and do well. We could potentially see him. Could we see already the growth of a player like a Bo Webster, who some people are saying couldn't be in the team, may not be? We could see a great all-rounder performance from him in the summer, but we've already heard of him. Let's just say, let's get our hypothetical hat out here and say we pick Weatherald at the top of the order, and he comes out and he is the new Aussie hero at the top of the order. He's a bit of a dasher, Dave Warner-esque, goes after the bowling, so maybe he could be an answer to that new Aussie hero if given opportunity.
Yeah, do you think like this whole Bazball thing with England, like they come out and they want to score runs quick, and Australia. I think Australia. Am I right in crediting Australia with changing the way that Test cricket was played? Like when we had the likes of Hayden and Slater at the top of the order, and they were just ticking over 4 runs and over. Like
I think that's what I don't think it annoys some of past cricketers and the Aussie cricketers, but they do have a bit of a chuckle to go, you guys call it Bazball. We just call it Test cricket. Like, as in, we've always been aggressive and pushed the game forward. Like in my earliest days under Trevor Bayliss and some of the greats like Brad Haddon and Simon Kadich, they were always trying to find ways to win games of cricket. And that's because they'd learned it from Steve Waugh. The first opportunity is to win a game. And that means sometimes Trevor Bayliss would always pick a team with a less batter in it, an extra bowler. He goes, because you need 20 wickets to win a test. That attitude of being aggressive has always filtered in. And you go for a win, and then your next opportunity is a draw.
I couldn't imagine playing for 5 days and having a draw. Like, I'd want to. You'd have. Yeah, in my nature, like, and I'm sure yours, like, you want to win, obviously.
Yeah.
But to play for a draw, and to go for 5 days to get a draw, that
makes no sense.
That's torture.
If cricket was invented today,
it wouldn't get a start.
It wouldn't get.
Wouldn't get a start. Wouldn't get a look in.
There wouldn't be a Papua New Guinean cricket team franchise going.
No.
We've got this new game for you.
Yeah. No, not at all. All right.
For Australia's home advantage.
What do you think? How much of an advantage is playing here? Obviously it is. But they're going to bring a lot of fans with them. They always do.
Yep.
How different are our wickets to theirs? And we're not meant to doctor wickets. They're meant to be consistent. But how much do our wickets impact their play?
Well, and it's also the ball. So they use a Duke's ball, which tends to swing around a lot longer.
Yeah.
So when we use a Kookaburra over here, and that's different. And the wickets here generally, I think, are a little bit quicker. But as I've been saying, I think the directive will be to try and make these tests go into day 4, day 5.
Yep.
Purely for entertaining purposes, and both teams will be playing to win. We know that from England. So I think we're going to see flatter pitches from day one.
So just for our listeners who aren't cricket nuffies, and I'm certainly not. I love it, and I love watching it. What do you mean by a flat wicket?
Okay, flatter wicket.
Because every wicket to me looks flat.
Okay, well, they are. And they're rolled with a roller, so they are flat.
Yeah.
So essentially when you're saying a flatter wicket, it's just a more consistent wicket. So on day one, what you'd expect to see on most pitches in Test cricket is that there's a good opportunity with the new ball that the ball will nibble around. It could be a bit soft. It might hold in the surface like the Gabba. So, for instance, that on day one, it's an even surface, but you wouldn't say necessarily flat because the ball will hold in the wicket. It'll seam. You'll get sideways movement. And then the flatter one means it's a bit more consistent. And as that wicket tends to harden up and the sun gets on it, it becomes a bit quicker and a bit flatter. And as the wicket flattens out from day one, it flattens out. You then becomes a little bit more consistent for batters and a little bit more batter friendly. Then as the wicket breaks up, okay, it becomes a little bit more inconsistent. You get the cracks, you get the variable bounce,
and you don't know where it's going.
And the spinners come into the game with the footholes and whatever else. So what I'm saying is day one, where you usually have that green seaming conditions, I think you might see a day 2 wicket for day one, which might mean the wicket might break up a little bit earlier and bring the spinners into the game. However, I think you might have a bit better batting conditions for longer as opposed to those tougher tussles at the top. Could be wrong, but that's just my interpretation.
No, makes sense. Makes sense. And that consistency in the wicket obviously makes it batter friendly because you know where the ball's going to go.
And I think, as you've asked, Australia's home advantage, how much of that will be? Well, I think it actually suits the English team a bit better than it does us. Right.
Okay. Now, our spinning stocks, how do you see them play out for the summer?
Great. I think for the first time in a long time, we have a great depth chart of spinners in the country. I think if we had to go to a left-arm finger spinner to complement Nathan Lyon, you could go straight away to Matt Kuhneman. If we needed a leggy, I think we've got young Tanveer Sanger, but I think Mitch Swepson's ahead of him. If you wanted to go to offies, well, we've got Corey Roccacelli, we've got Ben Menenti. So, look, I'm looking at all these guys who are going around at the moment, and I've probably missed some, and apologies if I have, but off the top of my head, I'm looking at that. Lloyd Pope's been doing pretty good things down at South Australia as well. Dougie Warren's a left-arm finger spinner for Victoria. So there's a lot of guys out there at the moment who I think are impressing at Shield level, who are doing well. So, yes, no. How do you replace a guy with
big
500
step up,
plus?
though, isn't it?
Of course it's a big step up. But Matt
you've got to
Kuhneman's
do it at some point, don't you?
He's got test fifers, Matt Kuhneman. So it's not like he's not done it before, and he's done it in India, and he's doing really well at Shield level. So I'd say he's the obvious, and Corey Roccacelli's an offie that I really like.
Do you not see Gary playing all 5 tests?
I do see Gary playing all 5 tests. Absolutely. You'll need a scalpel to get the ball out of Gary Lyon's hand. He wants this more than anyone. Like, he wants to win in England, he wants to beat England at home, and he wants to win in India. And you know, he's fit and ready to go. And as long as he's bowling forever, like, just let him go. And if he's 45 and he's still punching it out, let him go.
Yeah, I reckon the Australian government should make a rule. Like, if that arm works, you bowl.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, we're deporting him. I don't know where to, but we're deporting
If he needs a wheelchair, he should have a wheelchair. Just wheel him out and keep him going.
Yeah. All right, now the English. Who have you got your eye on in their squad?
Oh,
who's
okay? All right.
Okay, so we've lost Pat Cummins. That's put a bit of a dent in us, but we've got Boland who can step in there. I think we lose a little bit with the bat with Boland, don't we? Like with Cummins, Cummins has always got some runs in him, doesn't
Important runs. So Paddy, we do. That linchpin around 8 where Paddy bats is big. You know, Mitch Starc is also very, very handy. And Scotty Boland can hold up an end as well. Got solid defence in attack. But when I see Cummins out and I'm looking at that English team, I see Joe Root thriving. Now, this guy's had an unbelievable 18 months.
Yeah.
You know, he's the number one batter in the world, and he's just scoring hundreds for fun. But Paddy Cummins, like, just had a spell over him, you know. And if Paddy's out,
he's now feeling $1 million.
Joe Root will just be praying that he doesn't play in Perth, and we'll seize that opportunity. And I think, again, we're talking about one player in sport where teams can galvanise around and dart in, for instance, for the New York Giants, you know, and how you can lift a franchise. Like, when Cummins goes, I think England will lift and Duckett will realise and go, right, I'm going to pounce on Starc and Hazelwood with this new ball. Boland, yes, he's an unbelievable bowler, but, you know, Joe Root will know that he's not in the back. You know, he's not in the locker to come back at us. Australia are going to have to find a fill-in spot. So, again, Joe Root's an obvious choice for mind, but I think he's going to be key. And a guy at the top of the order, Ben Duckett, he's a left-hander. He's about 4'5", but what he lacks in height, he makes up for in power and punch. And, you know, he'll go hard and nothing phases him. No. So I think those two at the top I like. And, of course, with their quicks, absolutely love Jofra Archer, what he brings to the game. Fast, fiery spells of bowling, and if you get him and Mark Wood in that same test at Perth, look out. That's going to be an absolute humdinger of a test to watch.
This is going to be hard.
That gives the analysis on the man.
I know. He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about what are we going to talk about?
Well, I was going to say, can we get the final 11 before the break.
Oh, yes, before the break. For Matt, who was very keen on getting your first 11.
Test
for
number
the
one in
Australian
Perth.
team. Test number one. This is
Right, so it has to be picked right now.
Socky's team
so I've
right
got
now, if it's picked right now.
Matt, you're a 12th man with Reptile running the drinks,
Beautiful.
cleaning the boots,
Nice.
washing the jock straps. That's your job. So
Lovely.
we've got Usman in. We need that experience at the top of the order. If it's right now, I've already said this. It's not Constas. He needs one big score. Is it Labuschagne? Is it Weatherald? I've tossed. I've thrown around. I'm going to go with Weatherald because I think he could be the next big thing for that team. He goes after him. Then I've got Smith at 3, all right, and Green at 4. So I've switched them around because I know that Green's going to have to do a bit of bowling. Batting 3 is a big ask. Jarks Callis did it for South Africa, but having him at 4, I know it's only one spot, but just gives him a little bit more time if he's come off a long bowling day to come in. So I've got Smith at 3, Head at 5, Webster at 6 has earned the right there. Average is 35 and just impressed when he's come onto the scene. 7 is Carey. 8 is Stark. We've got Gazza at 9 and Boland at 10. And wrapping out the 11 is Josh Hazelwood. So that would be my 11 now. The big question for me at the moment is the batting order, in which way they shape this order, and that number 2 position behind Usman. That's a big question, and that's my team. But there could be people who push Webster out, Green down to 6, bring another, Matt Marnus at 3, push Smith down. And this is the problems that we've got. I guess the good problems that the Australian selectors have at the moment is there are guys at the top of the order like Renshaw, Weatherald, and Marnus who are scoring runs. And Paddy Cummins has already come out positively and said, this guy Marnus is proven at test level and he's found his groove and his confidence back. And that's what we like.
Well, he
to see.
sort of lost a little bit last year, didn't he? He sort of lost his mojo.
Exactly. And I think he's a confidence player. When he gets that confidence back, you see him, he doesn't shut up on the field and, he's doing all that stuff with Steve Smith when he's letting the ball go. And when he's doing that, you just know that they're on, and he did lose a bit of that.